Hello all and welcome to week 13. This week we're going to get started on your final, so I'm keeping things a little bit more simplified in my video. I'm not going to do any tools, but I will do tools next week, so don't think you're done. But I want to take a good look at your final. It's pretty wide open, so feel free to reach out with any questions, specifics, anything that you may need. So let's go through these because you know tabs are my friend. Alright, so I put a plugin page. Now, I want you to be aware that After Effects is a huge software on its own, but that so many companies have made plugins. So it could be as simple as, I've animated something coming in from the left so many times that I just made a plugin that you just put on your layer and now it'll animate in from the left. Some of them are 3D elements that they've brought into After Effects. Most of the time, anything that is very successful, After Effects will try to purchase and make a part of their system. So, all of those extra windows that we have, like the effects and presets tabs, those were all kind of things that either After Effects workers developed or they paid somebody and purchased their plugins. Now, that being said, there are so many plugins. So I just kind of give you some pages here. This is a Pluralsight tools and technique reminder, just to keep your motion design, keeping them looking clean and using the tools. So that's just kind of a top helper. And then I have these plugin pages. I'm not going to open them all, but for instance, Ease and Whiz. It's the cheapest. Now that being said, all of these are not free. Unfortunately, some of them can be very expensive, but when you see what some of them do, you're not surprised. Sometimes you can be surprised, but simple text movements across the screen is enhanced with starts and fall-offs. So basically ease in and ease out. Remember one of our animation principles? This one really helps. Lens care gives a rack focus depth of field blur. Okay, so this might be something that you could create on your own, but this is a plugin that does it automatically. These are some free ones. You can see what they do. Butt capper. Silliest name on the list, but basically it rounds out the edges of your paths, and they give you videos showing it in action. So I would take a look at these, just see what's out there, see what's available, see if there's anything that you'd be interested in. Maybe there's a free one that you can try. You are not required to use any plugins, but I just want you to know that the possibilities are endless and there's a ton of stuff going on. And especially in the day and age of the World Wide Web, they are all at your fingertips. All right, so let me go to your final. Your final assignment will be to create a 30 to 45 second animation of your choosing. I'm leaving it wide open, so feel free to email me with any ideas or if you need suggestions. Now, when I say animation, I mean a motion graphics project. I don't mean that you need to do a frame-by-frame animation. I'm just calling it an animation because I want it to be moving, animated. You can reference our list of tools. Kind of put some of the extra ones that we've been working on. This week, we'll be storyboarding and gathering ideas. Write a small paragraph description of what your assignment is going to be. Submit a detailed storyboard with pencil and paper or Illustrator and Photoshop PDFs. Only your description and storyboards are due, but I would begin on creating your assets and figuring out your style. This is a longer animation, so yes, pre-production is the most important, and if that's all you get through this week, that is fine, but just know we're kicking it up because I don't want to see 30 seconds of just fast-moving stuff that you just tried to get done. I want to see quality. Now, again, you can always talk to me if you're like, I think mine's going to be 25 seconds, but I'm doing X, Y, and Z. That's fine with me. But the goal is 30 to 45 seconds of well-done movement. The next week, we'll be creating your assets and starting in After Effects, mapping all of your ideas out. then we will continue animating, finalizing, and adding details, and then your high definition render is due May 4th by 11:59 p.m. Our final would have been May 4th at 8 a.m., so we get to sleep in. I'm just having it due by the end of day. Okay? If you have any questions on what you want to do, on what I'm asking for, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been nice to do mini Zoom calls with some of you and just chat about some of your projects. So feel free. I also want to do a Zoom call next week, so be looking out for the details, but I want to celebrate our seniors and just talk about what everyone is doing. So next week will be an optional Zoom call. I'll get you the details as it's a little closer. You do have a discussion this week. I know the discussions can get a little tedious, but it's the only way that we can kind of communicate and share our work. So please make sure that you are using the discussion board, providing details, and it takes some time to actually help out your classmates. So post your ideas here. Fully describe what you're going to do. I want details, not just here's my project. I'm planning on doing this for this company. I'm going to design their logo, have it come in like this, whatever. Critique a minimum of 2 of your classmates' ideas. Give suggestions for improvement or ask questions. Keep the discussion growing. So I did not write here, say it looks good. Give suggestions. I see that you're going to do an ad for this company. Have you thought about music? I think bass, background, elevator type music could bring humor to your idea. Okay? Now, I did this page with types of motion graphics and trends for this year. I am leaving this wide open for you, so you could do an animated logo. It would be a longer one, but you could do an animated logo. Maybe it's an animated logo into an advertisement for them. You could do an intro credit if you really loved that, but I will say I want this to be more your work, so create your own show. Come up with your own ideas. In 2020, we have some motion graphic design trends that I thought were interesting. 2D and 3D blend, seamless transitions, kinetic type, double exposure, retro motion graphics, and there are some sites that you can go to here. So look up some of these, see what you think. You may agree, you may disagree. These sites are just some different ideas for motion graphics. So types of motion graphics, and it goes into the details, but a brand video, an explainer video, aka an infographic, an instructional video, how-to, movie clips, and storytelling. All of these are options for you. These are kind of similar but with examples, and then how to bring ideas to life with motion graphics and examples. So then if you need more inspiration, I've got a site with different motion graphics blogs. Look up motion graphic artists on Instagram if you have Instagram, or Pinterest. Get some inspiration before you just dive into what you want to do. You may see the assignment and think like, well, we just did an opening credit, so I want to do another opening credits. But really look at the different options and different things you can make. Try something new. Try pushing your creative ideas. Try looking at the tools and saying, what can I really bring to life? How can I make this a portfolio piece to get me a job, right? Especially you seniors, if any of you are interested in motion graphics, this is your chance. Give me a job. Speaking of jobs, I said at the bottom here, look up companies that do motion graphics. There are a bunch in Chicago. A lot of them do more commercial work. For instance, I believe the Trix Bunny and the Lucky Charm Leprechaun are done in Chicago. But just take a look at some of the companies out there, some of the motion graphics that they're doing. I know like Tide, Procter & Gamble, stuff like that, all kind of being done in the area. That being said, you do not need to look in Chicago. You can look all over. But look at companies that do motion graphics, look at their reels, and then see what you could do. And then there's a site called Motionographer. Motionographer has really great examples. You can see events, about, and jobs. So some stuff to look at. So I really want you to take some time, do research, get references, think about different ideas. Don't just settle on your first one. And then always feel free to reach out. And in the discussion board, even if it's like the beginning of the week, you can put, hey, I'm in between these two ideas. What do you guys think? And just write a brief sentence about each. Of course, then I'd like for you to comment again with more of a work in progress, but it's our chance to help each other out and get these projects the best that they can possibly be. Okay? So I look forward to seeing your ideas, and I will talk to you all soon.